How to be a feminist with Maeve from Sex Education.
What is your thing then?
Complex female characters.
And you want to live happily ever after?
Do I look like I have a Cinderella complex?
I think having pure intentions is key if you want to fully dive into feminism. By pure intentions, I mean you actually need to care for women, all women. In this video, I'm going to be shedding light on some of the ways that Maeve from Sex Education acts on her feminist beliefs. This will hopefully inspire you, giving you ways to empower yourself and the women around you. I haven't seen Sex Education in so long, but Maeve is a character that kind of sticks in your brain because she's radical. Her personality or view on life differs from the majority of female characters in film and television. You can't deny that she really uplifts the women around her. Amy, for example, her best friend, is so different to her, but she chooses to help her with her low self-esteem. She reassures her that her kind nature is something to really celebrate. Feminism isn't about empowering one individual whilst letting other women suffer. It's about empowering all women, and that's what I love about Maeve. She's all about empowering women, even if they're different to her.
Surely Maeve Wiley. Has anyone noticed whether it had tea?
Women judging and criticising other women is way too common in this world, and that's because of a thing called internalised misogyny. Internalised misogyny is when women mistrust other women. This is a consequence of growing up in a sexist, misogynistic world. It is deep-rooted and often subconscious. Women who feel or experience this may try to devalue or belittle other women by putting them down, by, for example, making nasty comments. So if you want to be a feminist, I think one of the most essential things is wanting the best for all women, wanting women to feel safe in your presence and celebrated. On the subject of celebrating women, if there's a friend or someone in your life, a woman in your life who has done something quite cool, who's found success, you should jump at the opportunity to praise her. It's easy to act on feelings of jealousy in these moments, so your friend might have got a job that you think's really cool. Your immediate emotion might be jealousy. Whilst that's not great, it's okay. It's normal, it happens, we live in a very competitive world. As long as you don't act on those feelings and you work towards understanding why you feel that way, and I'm sure you're doing that because you're watching this video, there's no need to worry. It's okay if you feel jealous, not okay if you act on those feelings. Just remember, feminism as a movement's main goal is to empower women in political, economic, and personal spheres. Jealousy isn't something we choose to feel, but it's certainly something we can understand, and then by understanding, you can change your behaviour. It may be hard to kind of swipe the jealousy aside because internalised misogyny, as we talked about before, might be really deeply programmed into you. You may need to learn to love women. I think having pure intentions is key if you want to fully dive into feminism. By pure intentions, I mean you actually need to care for women, all women. Understanding what internalised misogyny was a big step in the right direction for me, because there was definitely a time where I kind of was envious of other women and I'd act upon that, and then I'd further isolate myself, and then I would be more insecure as a woman. I'd have more anger and misunderstanding, and then I would in turn misunderstand myself because I myself am a woman. Being kind and being open and trying to be curious about the women around you is the best way to go about it, because actually it will in turn help you love yourself as a woman in this society, in this very sexist, patriarchal society.
I'd read all of Jane Austen by the time I was 12, which is a severely underrated piece of feminist literature.
So reading feminist books, watching feminist YouTubers, TED Talks, all these platforms are great to just dive into feminism headfirst. Another thing, make sure you don't just listen to white feminists. Women of colour are often disregarded. I've left a link in the description to some incredible women of colour who talk about feminism. If there's a job role that's come up on your phone, on Instagram, or you've heard of a job opportunity that would suit a friend, tell them. Share opportunities with fellow women. So my best friend a few years ago did the most empowering thing for me. She introduced me to a friendship circle. It's quite common to be selfish with your friends and want all the love and attention for yourself. There's also jealousy and competition at play there too. Women coming together is the most empowering thing, a group of women wanting the best for each other. So helping the women around you to establish deep connections with other women is a very kind of feminist act. Women coming together, trying to move past internalised misogyny and competing with each other and being unkind to one another is a real step in the right direction. And in sex education, women do come together. Maeve, alongside 4 other women, all come together to support Amy when she's getting on the bus after she's been assaulted. It's this really moving scene I just spat.
We're all getting the bus.
Supporting each other as women is one of the best things we can do. Going back to jealousy, I think it's important that we really talk about this because I think it's something that crops up a lot in female friendships. We should never let any woman be on the receiving end of our jealousy. It's something we definitely need to talk about more and something we need to read about and journal about and just be so aware of. Talking of friendships and introducing your friends to other friends, you need to remember that when you do get those feelings of jealousy, if they do come up, which if you're brought up in the society, I think it's normal that you do feel jealousy because we're just taught to be so competitive. If 2 friends that you've introduced become super close, not as close as you are with either of them, remind yourself that we all bond over different things and we all serve different purposes in each other's lives. If you have a friend that has a lot in common with another friend, introduce them. If they get along like house on fire, see this as a win. Remind yourself that what goes around comes around. If you do your best for your friend, if you help them to establish deep connections with other people, then they will hopefully in turn do the same for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe and comment. Please comment. Comment down below.
Comment!